So we've got this old Nylint truck here, and it's got these bolts on here, and the bolts look like they're rusted into one piece, and I need to pull them out of there because none of the semi-trailers I have a hitch that goes like is open, and it goes up like that. They all have a post, and they go down in this hole where this bolt's at. So we're going to spray it with the PB Blaster penetrating spray, and hopefully that does it. Well, if I can shoot the right spot. And we're just going to let that sit for a while. Then we're going to come back to it, and we're going to do it 2 or 3 different times. And eventually, hopefully, it will let go. If it ends up not letting go, then we're going to probably just cut it off with something. Which would probably be the thing to do anyway, but, why not? Why not try? So the nuts are 2 different sizes. So we're going to work on the top one first. Okay, this fit on there before. We're going to work on the bottom one first. This is a 13 and the other one's a 12. I don't have anything in between that, so. This is good though. This means the nuts are not stuck together too bad. So I figured I ought to try something that I should have thought of earlier, and I also threw a coat on because it's a little chilly out here. It's like 40-something degrees outside, which isn't that bad, in the garage, but I'd rather not be sick. And maybe without a black background. Without a black background, maybe you guys can see what I'm doing a little better. Tried to put this where you could see what I was doing. So what I'm gonna do, if I can get this may work. Okay, so this is working. I wasn't sure if it would work because I didn't have anything to hold the truck with. And then these wrenches are thicker than the nuts, so I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to hold on to one and crank the other one right on top of each other. I can't tell if it's coming off or not, though. It's turning, so it's got to be coming off. But, this bolt isn't any looser than it was to start off with. And, then this little nut up here, whenever I crank that, it cranks the bolt with it, even though I'm holding this bottom nut. So I think what we're going to have to do is try to chop that off with something. So we have came to the conclusion that, and I thought about this when I was over there cranking on it in front of the camera, but I'm thinking that the only way that this bolt can turn, even if I'm holding this bottom nut, is if this, either the bolt or the threads in the nuts are so rusty that the threads are, rusted out, they're all messed up. And if that's the case, then that's why this bolt keeps spinning even when we're holding this nut. Because when we're holding this nut and cranking on this one, the bolt spins even though we're holding this nut. So only thing I can figure out is the threads are messed up in either the bolt or the nut. So we're probably going to end up just cutting it off because I don't need it anyway.
That's what it was doing?
Yeah, see how it's spinning around?
Okay, now we got to have the vice grips.
That was the only ones in that drawer, was those big ones, or else I would have gotten smaller ones.
There is smaller?
No, there's not. Not in that drawer.
See that bolt right there ain't holding nothing. It's just a spacer. Somebody put
I know. You cranking on the top bolt?
Huh?
Are you cranking on the top one or the bottom one?
The bottom.
The bottom one just spins.
Yeah, it's just a spacer in the middle.
Right. Yeah, use the top one.
He said he had so much trouble with that.
Well, it's coming.
It's
right?
it's looser than it was. A lot looser than it was.
It is?
Yeah. You couldn't wiggle it around before.
You couldn't?
No.
I hate it when you do that.
Good.
But you don't have to drag everything back out.
All right.
Because I wouldn't. That knowing where things begin to wonder though. I was going to tell you I saw it. No answer.
Is it still moving?
Yeah.
I know this is going to be silly, but oh,
That bolt doesn't go in there.
okay.
Thanks. Is that on the threads or is it just kind of coming off?
It's not on the. See how much bigger it is than the other one?
Uh-huh. Thanks. You can see where that nut was because it's smooth where that nut was and it's rusty all around where that nut was. And then there's a rust around where the top of the bolt was.
What's the name of that toy, Wyatt?
Nylint.
Nylint?
Nylint.
Nylint.
I'll put the hubs on later.
You just take silicone and put them on. In case you ever want to pull them off again, you know?
You don't have to do that. They just go in there, like with a screwdriver.
Oh, okay.
They just kind of pry in and out of there.
Okay. Now,
This was challenging with the other truck that I did. Well, that's a good idea.
You think?
Yeah. There, it's on there now.
Think that's mashed enough?
Probably. Thanks. So, as you just saw, we, my grandpa and I, got the wheels on. I was holding the camera, and he was pretty much putting it together. We got the axle shortened. The axle was a bit long, so we cut it, and then my grandpa had a really good idea. I actually feel kind of dumb because I didn't think of it. Putting these washers on. Get a bigger washer, stick it over the washer, you know, a bigger washer with a bigger hole in it, so that it fits much larger around this thing, you know, just so that it's hitting the little washer here, and that mashes that washer over this mashed spot on the axle. I felt really dumb because I didn't think of that. I have so much crap over here that I could have put over this washer and beat. But I know for next time, because I'm sure this won't be the last time I'm doing this, because this is relatively easy. So all we have to do for now, oh yeah, also got the bolt out. Forgot about that. Got the bolt out of the truck. And it rolls extremely well. For this not being the right axle, you know, rolls real good in this truck. Fits good too. We cut it down, hit it right on the head with the width of the axle, and then we pounded the axle out flat on the end. Let's see, I'm gonna try to get this best I can. Give you guys an angle of it. Zoom in best I can here. So you really can't see it on the camera, but we pounded this flat here so that there's a little flange on the end of this axle, and that way the washer doesn't come off, and the washer obviously keeps the wheel on here. So big help there, and I didn't have the tools to cut it with, or the Dremel has a metal grinder on it, but my grandpa's grinder that he's got in his garage works a lot better. So got that done. So the only thing left to do now, for now, until I find some duals for it, is we're gonna put the hubs back on this, and the hubs are gonna be on it for now, but you know, looking at it, it doesn't look bad with the black wheel. So and I have some nicer trucks that need hubs. These are a little banged up, but they're better than not having hubs. So in the future, if I find duals for this truck and the duals don't have hubs, that's not going to be a big deal, because I have better trucks that can use these hubs. This truck looks okay with the black wheels. But for now, we're going to put the hubs back on, and I'm going to show you. I showed you how to take them off in a video. Never showed you how to put them back on. So now to see if all of our work really paid off. So you want to get this hub, you know, a little bit in there. I gotta do this in my lap. I'm gonna try to get a good camera shot of it. I can't do it over the camera. So that's the best camera shot I can give you and me still be able to do this. Oops, that's the bigger one. Maybe that's the one I used. So like I said, you want to get the hub at least halfway in there. They're not going in so well on this one, but that's alright. Just kind of mash it in there. And then I've got this little hammer here. These, I can already tell they're not going in like the other ones did. The other ones went in real good. These aren't going in so hot for some reason or another. So the reason that hub wouldn't go in this wheel is because this hub goes in this wheel, not the other one. And you know, these tires are old enough that I'm gonna have to straighten this out here. We'll figure that out in a second. There's a spot right here. It just won't go in the freaking tire. Got the hubs in the truck, and then I had to bend the frame back into place because it was all gacked up, and so the tabs come out of the inside of it, so I had to fix that. And you wouldn't believe all the, well, yeah, you probably would looking at this thing. You wouldn't believe all the rust that fell off of this thing when I was pounding on it. But got it all back together, and straightened the grill out here. The grill was a little bit bent up. It didn't really show up on camera, but in person, the what I would reckon are turn signals right here, under the headlight here, was kind of sticking out. Regardless of whether that's supposed to be like that or not, I didn't like that, so I stuck the screwdriver like this and then pounded up here. Because I can't hit it here, I'll bash in the headlight. So if I put the flat spot here where I want it flattened and then hit it out here, it's still got the job done. So I straightened the grill out and straightened the frame out to where it wasn't going to come apart. I know there's a big dent in the side here. I'm just going to leave that there. I couldn't care less if that dent was there. So this will be the end of the video for this truck. I will have another video when I finally find duals for it. I've already got a trailer picked out for it. I've bought an extra trailer at a estate sale a while back. That's in the estate sale video. I don't remember which part it's in, but it's the one that's got all the cars in it. So anyway, if you want to check that out, go check that out. I can't straighten this out because if I hit this, it's gonna crack this, and as brittle looking as this plastic is, because this truck has had to sit outside somewhere, as rusty as it is, and then as sun-baked as the plastic is, that doesn't just happen with age. I've got a truck that's the exact same age as that truck, sitting in that tub in there. You see it, the blue one, kind of looks gray on the camera right there, and it's as old as this truck, if not older, and windows aren't like that on this, and I've got older stuff that the windows aren't like that. So this sun-baked does the I can't talk. The sun-baked this. There, I finally got that out. So, you know, it's had some type of accident here. The side's been in, and there's a deeper dent right there, and this has been out, but I can't fix that, you know. They look so terribly bad when they don't have windows in them. That's one thing that I don't mind paying for, is the windows for these, because when they don't have windows in them, they look so bad. And then when they're aged like this, sometimes they're better. Not to this extent, this is a little overkill, but sometimes when they're a little bit aged, I don't really mind it, because you know, when they're not, you can just kind of see inside the truck. So as long as they're in there, that's what matters to me. Finally got the bolt out of here. So I thought we were gonna have to cut the bolt out, but turns out that I was right. The nuts, the bigger nut that was down lower, the threads were stripped out of it. That's why it let the bolt spin. And I don't have 3 hands, obviously, so I couldn't hold the vice grips, you know. I couldn't hold the vice grips in one place, you know, hold the wrench and then the other one. So I had my grandpa do that. I just happened to be over there, so I thought, yeah, I'll bring this over here. We always work on stuff. So worked on this, got the bolt out, and like I said, he has the tools to cut the axle. So we cut the axle down to size, and it looks really good, I think. Looks like it's supposed to. Don't know what's missing here. I know on the real truck, I think it says Ford right there, but I don't know what's missing there on the real one. But other than the back wheels, I'm done with it. So I hope you enjoyed the videos, and I hope I find duals for the back of it. I would prefer them to be black wall like this and Tonka, since it's got Tonka wheels on the front, just so that it sits the same height. You know, Buddy L wheels would probably work, or I think the Nylint wheels were a little bit smaller. Anything that'll fit back here, I would be good with, even if it was a pair of Ertl, the newer being 70's Ertl wheels that go on like their cab overs and stuff. Even those would work on here. But there's a parts TranStar that I've been thinking about buying, and looking back, I've got a TranStar that's got bad duals on it. It's missing a dual, so between that and then this needs back wheels, I may go back to Elwood and buy that. But I haven't been to Elwood since the flea market video, the flea market video. So and I think it's called Elwood Flea Market haul video or something like that, if you want to check that out. So like, comment, subscribe for more, and hopefully you'll see this truck pretty soon with some back wheels on it. Have a good day.